I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed, okay? I'm not mad, just disappointed. And maybe a little bit mad. Hello everyone, it's Mr. Troll delivering an update. Sneako is someone who at this point needs no introduction. If you are watching this, there is a 99.9% chance you absolutely hate him for being a keyboard warrior, being an Andrew Tate wannabe, being a cock, and everything. However, Mr. Troll has always had a glimmer of hope for Sneako. For example, I watched that live stream where Sneako was talking about Islam and going to Mecca, and as someone who, believe it or not, comes partially from a Muslim family, it brought a smile on my face that Sneako was finally going to become a good person and find peace in life. But to my dismay, Sneako would then proceed to make fun of a nerd and then chickening out when the nerd turned out to be a professional fighter, and then he failed to explain to Destiny why pedophilia is bad, and then acting degenerate and therefore getting punched and getting his teeth deformed as punishment. And every time I think Sneako will finally be a good person, he then takes another L, and then I feel stupid for giving him a benefit of the doubt. Well, turns out the whole Islam thing was a grift. Apparently Sneako was doing it just to gain respect and not because it's the right thing to do, which is something even Jesus preaches against in Christianity. Matthew 6:1. Be careful not to practice your righteousness in front of others to be seen by them. If you do, you will have no reward from your Father in heaven. Now, is Sneako truly just doing it for clout, or does he truly believe in Islam? I don't know because I am not in Sneako's head. But a lot of people claim he is just a grifter because he himself does a lot of things that are considered haram in Islam. This is not something most people probably realize, but if you truly study the Quran, you start seeing small nuances in Sneako's behavioral patterns that are kind of haram.
What the fuck? Did you see that high kick?
Now I take that $800,000 and I buy a house. If I went and I sold my Bitcoin, that's a taxable event. Instead of paying taxes, I gave it to you as collateral and I borrowed a debt. That is not taxable. What I'm trying to tell you is you want to avoid paying taxes legally on your Bitcoin.
I saw the streaming awards today and I didn't get nominated. I want to say a big fuck you to all the streaming people because all these streamers, man, would you have gotten in the ring with the former UFC champion in state standing? No, you wouldn't have. I had stream of the year and you could suck my...
And as a result, other Muslims have criticized Sneako on the internet, to which Sneako responded saying,
I gotta realize, if you're like a Muslim YouTube channel, you get no views just talking about God. You don't. You get views when you talk about me, when you talk about Adam Saleh, when you talk about things going on, drama, when you talk about Myron, fresh and fit. This is haram, this is haram. Why don't you just go read the Quran on stream then?
So from my understanding, Sneako seems to be upset that people criticize him and he tries to cope by saying they are only doing it for clout. But then Sneako has a history of criticizing others for clout as well.
It's like a master to the student.
So either acknowledge that you do that yourself, or else I will be like, he who lives in a glass house should not be throwing stones. But that's my opinion. However, we then have this video as well.
So Love Speech is no longer a Muslim-only community. I'm hereby announcing it. It was for a bit, I gotta admit, but I don't want it to be Muslim only. And also I decided that's why I want to slow down on the Muslim content until Ramadan. And it is acknowledging that I'm going to be imperfect and there's going to be setting up in the streams. It is what it is. But when people are starting to nitpick when I play music, I was listening to Trap Queen in the car. You must jack me, let it hit the window. And you have people like, brother, why no Quran? Yeah, because I'm sinning. Because music's a sin and I'm listening to music. Did you think you got me? Did you think that I didn't know that? That you're telling me something new? I know. Genius, I know.
So Sneako tries to justify doing haram things by being like, look, I'm human, we all make mistakes. And maybe criticizing the things he is talking about here is kind of a nitpick, at least in my opinion. But the other things he does, like making fun of that fighter or messing with someone stronger than him and as a result getting his teeth deformed, Like, that is not just a mistake you do because you're human. That's behavior only pathetic people do. And the problem with this is that if you keep promising you're going to be a better person now, only to take an L literally the next minute, like it's gonna be like the boy who cried wolf. Eventually people will stop believing in Sneako. And the sad thing is, the fact that Mr. Chol is possibly the only person at this point who still sees a glimmer of hope in Sneako. Everyone else just sees him as nothing more than a lol cow at this point. And soon, Mr. Troll will do that too.